Good morning, Northern Arizona and intergalactic universe.
There you go.
Thanks for listening to Drive Time this weekend. In the studio today, we have an echo going on. But to my left, I've got Desmond Creighton from Prescott Valley Transmissions.
Good morning, everybody.
Executive producer.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we got to give him that title. He's here, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
Darn it.
No raises today either.
And then across from me, we got Mark Kroll from Southwest Truck and Diesel, right?
Truck and RV.
RV. I know you get the diesel stuff. That's what I sent to you because I don't want to work on that stinky stuff. How are you doing this morning?
Oh, if I was any better, I'd be twins. Couldn't take it.
Whew, yeah, neither could we. Missing from the studio, we have Louis Gomez from Prescott Tire Pros. He probably made another left turn, probably ended up in Vegas again.
Yeah.
That seems to be his situation.
Well, since he's a race car owner, he's good at making lefts.
He does, huh? He does a lot of left turns. And Thom Tschetter is down at the ranch, goofing off this weekend and stuff. But he sent us in a listener question.
Hey, John.
And
I need to interrupt you one second.
Uh-oh.
And who are you?
Oh.
And what's your shop?
I'm John Lonis from AutoWorks, the place where you won't find jerks at AutoWorks, especially when I'm not there.
Yeah, especially on Saturdays.
So we're just having fun and got my good buddies in here. So we're just going to talk and ramble today. And listeners, this is your show, 928-541-1016. Give us a call. Today's subject, though, we'd like to hear from current and past technicians that have been in the field, where they've worked, what they liked about their employer, and what they didn't like about their employer.
Yeah. Well, what started all of this is we got an email from a gentleman that's been in the industry for a long time and was complaining about shops just, wearing technicians out and not caring about them and having trouble finding work. And, that kind of hit home to all of us because we work really hard to take care of our technicians and treat them well, give them their time off, their family time. So far this month, I've had 2 technicians out on vacation. One of them's due back on Monday.
You allow family time?
I know.
Shame on you. You're supposed to be a slave driver. No free time, no family. They're your slave. Employee.
Yeah, they can't quit. So they're supposed to be sold. But, and that kind of bothered us because that's not how, and I know that's how a lot of shops run. I know that's how a lot of places run their businesses. They don't think of their people as human. I just went to a management training conference this last week, and one of the things they were talking about is people first all the time. I went to 3 different classes that was talking about people first, and it's a fact. If you give the people their time off, you don't overload them, you don't burn them out, they're more productive, they're happier, the whole shebang.
But along with that is the accountability factor.
Absolutely.
You cannot let the technicians run the show and make all the demands and stuff like that. So there is accountability in both directions. The technician has to be willing to do and live up to what they say they can do and to meet the shop's expectations and goals.
You mean they can't do what they say they do when you interview?
Oh, man.
I've never had a guy that wasn't exactly as advertised on the resume. I don't know what you guys are having trouble with.
Oh,
I
man.
had one.
Yeah. One that actually met. Yeah.
Yeah, that came in and he, if I had to say it, undervalued himself. He came in and said, "Yeah, I can build 1 or maybe 2 transmissions a day," and it's my current builder, Steven, and he's just amazing. And I don't even, I'm there every day. I'm there to guide everybody, but I don't build transmissions anymore. He's so good and so fast. And there's nothing left for me to do. I'm like, you got to slow it down a little bit. Give me an opportunity. I still like that job.
Well, when he goes on vacation, then you get to go out there and play again.
Yeah, if there's anything more expensive than taking care of your current employees, it's replacing them and training up their replacements. That's way more expensive.
Yep. So we would like to hear some callers, like I said, from the past and current technicians on what you do and don't like. Listening from or reading that reply or question from Chris.
We're supposed to say
Oops. Well, maybe that's not his name. Maybe
Okay.
I'm using a different name to protect the innocent.
Awesome.
So yeah, this message that Joe sent in um, is really good, but it just ruffled my feathers. And as an independent shop owner, I think independent shops are much more flexible. We're not totally corporate owned and corporate controlled, so we're not really just run by the bean counters. The independent shop owner, they care about their employees. They were once, most of them were once on the floor in the shoes that you're at. And talking about pay and stuff, this guy says, there's nobody out there paying. Man, I just, well, a couple weeks ago, I wrote a check for $11,300 to one technician.
Nice.
That was for a 2-week period. So
Outstanding.
if you can do what you can actually say
Are
that
you
you do.
taking applications?
I am. I'm still looking for a few more. If I can get a couple more like that, then man, that would just life would be totally awesome. So this guy, David, he sounds like he's been around for 38 years, and he knows all kinds of stuff. So I would definitely love to talk to Chris. I mean, stop in at AutoWorks, give me a call, stop by,
I
let's
wonder if
talk.
Fred has been working at dealerships because I've heard all the dealership technicians that I interview, they talk about this kind of culture and treatment.
Yeah, it's
And
an
I don't know.
assembly line.
And I
Mhm.
can honestly tell you, I have never worked in a dealership, so I don't know. I'm hearsay, third party. So please, owners of the dealerships, don't call and start screaming at me because I have no idea. But that's the story that I hear quite often.
Well, I have probably 5 or 6 years experience working in dealerships, and it was on the front end, not the back end. But it's run by the financial statement,
Mhm.
and either you're getting it or you're not, and if you're not getting it, you're gone.
Well, I mean, there's a flip side to that coin. It sounds terrible, but the numbers are the boss.
Right.
If you are not making profit, if there isn't enough money left over to pay the bills and pay everything, well, then you go out of business.
Right.
So there's a balance. Um, I don't know about you, John, but I know for many years, I barely made anything being an owner. And everybody thought I was a millionaire. It's like I wished.
You mean you still
I
don't
have
make
half-
nothing?
Yeah.
You're making something now? I've been doing this for 18 years as an owner. It's like, come on.
And so there is a give and take. You do have to do the job. You have a job to do there. You're paid to be there for a reason. But I don't think of them as machines. I don't come in at 8 o'clock, push the button, and 5 o'clock hit the button, and now they're human again. So anyway, I would love to hear from technicians as well. What do you like? What don't you like? Preferably not people from my shop, so I could hear what I can do in my shop to be better.
Maybe they are going to be the ones that are going to be calling him and tell you what you can do
Either
better. All right, they're cracking the whip on us. We got to take our first break. Give us a call, 928-541-1016. Let us know what you like and don't like about your current shop or past shops. We'll be right back after the break. All right. Back again, live in the studio. Just enjoying the rain. That was an awesome rainfall that we had last night. The roads kind of flooded at my house, so I'm really having fun. Looking forward to getting out the tractor and moving some mud, digging some ditches, upsetting the neighbors. I got one neighbor that says, when you get done with the road, it's like cornbread batter. I'm like, well, good thing you got four-wheel drive.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you would like to do it yourself, feel free. Call out a company and pay for it.
Exactly, yeah.
Don't you love that kind of stuff?
I know you try to do good for the neighborhood, and for the most part, I mean, most of my neighbors all love me for it, and they come out and throw me bottles of water. I think they're handing them to me. I think.
Well, I know how much my neighbor appreciated it when you guys came over and helped him out.
Oh, sure, tractor work. We love that. That's my relaxation. Des has got his side by side that he likes to go out and run around and goof on,
and Legos.
But now that he's playing a little bit with a tractor, I think he's starting to get a little bit of a tractor bug. And he's going to be moving out to 2 acres, so he's going to have something to mow and some ditches to dig. So I see a tractor in his future.
Well, I'm going to have to get one just to it's kind of weird. They did like half landscaping or a third landscaping.
Well, 2 acres of landscaping is a lot. That's why we have just weeds and we trim the wild bushes so they look like trees.
Yeah.
That gets
so
pricey.
I'm gonna finish it off. I'm going to put all the rock down, and I like my house. My new house. Well,
Cool.
hopefully I'll like it. We're under contract, so hey.
Better go out and see what kind of flooding it got this weekend, so you know what you're going to be battling.
I should.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go after road trip after the show.
Go do some donuts in the yard. Do some rotaries.
Stay away from
help him
yard.
out with his landscaping. So yes,
no calls.
Yeah, so we'd like to hear from the technicians. We got to have old retired technicians or current technicians out there. 928-541-1016. You guys are listening to us on 105.5 FM.
103.5.
103.5 FM. Well, you guys know what station you're on because you're hearing us.
Yes.
And 1490 AM. That's the one that I got set in my truck. That's what I'm listening to usually whenever I come up here and listen to Dr. Hancock on the radio. All kinds of neat stuff. Today he's talking about blood clotting and all the drugs that have been taken off the market, 8,000 drugs in 6 years. And wow, there's a lot of drugs out there.
Yes. But I wanted to get back to that technician, how they feel and, what's going on there. I know you turned me on to coaching. I had never done coaching before. And I know one of the big things they teach us is to not only take care of your customer, but take care of your staff.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a stat, and it was staggering. It was like 89% of shops were started from a former technician. And I can tell you that when I started my shop, I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew I knew how to fix transmissions really good. And I was tired of the crooked companies that I was working for. Yeah,
and you had a partner that started you off, and he was more into the business side of things, so he was actually the brains to keep things going and get things going, and then whenever he decided to retire and you buy him out, now you had to become the business owner.
I didn't even know how to make an invoice. I had no idea. I just quoted out the numbers that he quoted out. I literally was that naive, that ignorant. I didn't know anything about paying the taxes, the bills, the books, none of that. I didn't know.
But here you are being the technician thinking, oh, being a shop owner, I'm going to have all kinds of money. They've got tons of money. What happened? How did you feel? Didn't you end up getting coaching after a few years of struggling really, really hard? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I come to it from the other end. From the business perspective, whatever, I knew that, and learning a lot more on the technical side, and it's definitely a good marriage between the two if you're going to have a successful business, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That is the one thing that I've been grateful for is the fact that I do know every single position of that shop, forward, backwards, except for the front. I'm not a salesman.
No, your wife has polished the front up quite a bit, so it's definitely something you can't step into comfortably.
But all the technical positions, if somebody, whatever, they decide that they're moving, they're quitting, whatever, while I find that right person to fill that vacancy, I just step right in, and I don't mind pulling transmissions out. I don't mind scrubbing the toilets. I love building transmissions. I think my least favorite, what is your least favorite position in the back? My least favorite is diag. I hate driving other people's cars.
I don't know. I've got enough people in place that can cover my butt.
My least favorite is scrubbing the toilets, and since you don't mind, can you come over and
No.
do my toilets?
No, I keep ours immaculate. But
Yeah.
and that's another big thing that we learned in coaching is how is your customer's experience, and you know, I don't know. I guess I'm just blessed. We have a really, really, really good team. All of my guys are very seasoned, certified, continuing school. I got quite a few reviews that have mentioned that everybody in the shop that they came in contact with said hi, offered them drinks, snacks, whatever, was really friendly. And I don't teach that. They just did that on their own.
You don't treat them like machines,
No,
robots?
I wished. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, dude, I mean, how do you want to be treated? I'm a golden rule kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Treat me the way you want to be treated, because that's how I'm going to treat you. I'm going to treat you with respect, concern, caring. I'm going to try to take care of you. Um, we have one of our guys is a single father raising a couple of kids, and so when his daughter is sick, what do we got to do? How do we help you? Hey, I gotta take my kids to school today. We got to go get school clothes. We got to get shots. Whatever. Take your time. Do it. And then his kids, it was kind of funny at the last parade. Not only does his kids help out with the parade and hand out candy, but then the nieces and nephews and cousins and stuff started getting involved. And he was like, I was going to ask you if that was okay. And it's like, dude, go be a superstar to your family. You don't have to ask me. Joy, let's go.
Yeah,
The
there
more
you
help,
go.
the merrier.
And so that kind of ties into the culture of the shop,
Yes.
on what you're trying to develop and cultivate in that shop, to where everybody's respectable of each other and we're all customers of each other. A technician is a customer of another technician.
Mhm.
A QC guy is a customer of the service advisor. We all have to go by your golden rule there, is treat everyone the way that you want to be treated and show them respect. But yet hold your team accountable too. You can't see that you have one lazy person and everybody's trying to cover for them. You have to hold that person accountable and say, hey, what's going on? Is there something in the personal life, something in the employee life? What is it?
One of the things I learned this last week, they were talking about weekly meetings with each of your team members. Very brief meetings, but hey, how did you do last week? How did you, what can we help you succeed with? What can we keep doing if they had a kick butt week? I don't know.
It
All
is.
that stuff counts.
Yeah, you have to check in with your employees just to see what's going on and how they're feeling and stuff. And that's kind of what we do on our Wednesday lunches is we have, 10, 15 minutes of business review or a lunch and learn. And then we like to ask everybody, usually on Monday mornings when everybody comes in at 7:30, is what'd you do over the weekend? How
Yep.
everything is going stuff. But they got the whip out again.
I'm
Wow,
telling
I
you.
guess we like being whipped too.
I hear you.
So
Every time.
they're forcing us to take another break again. So listen to our sponsors, and people, give us a call, 928-541-1016. Give us a call. And if you don't want to talk about your job, then give us a call with some car questions. Give us a call. We want to talk
That's
to
what we're
somebody
here
else
for.
besides just listening to ourselves.
Yeah, otherwise it's just us.
Yes. We'll be back in 2 and 2. And we are back again. It's Drivetime AZ, Northern Arizona's only live talk radio show regarding cars and anything related to it. I've got Mark Kroll from Southwest Truck and Diesel, Desmond Creighton from PV Transmissions, myself, John Lonis from AutoWorks. Last week we're trying to, kind of bring the group up again because last week we had the girls and they kicked butt. And Mark actually intruded last week, and I think he was here for the donuts and the aroma.
They better donuts, and I forgot. Where's that donut again?
Yeah, so he filled in last week as the technical person for last week, and he was just surrounded by the four ladies of the owners of our spouses, with the exception of mine. Mine was too busy with grandkids. She's always busy with grandkids, but they're a lot of fun and stuff. But
yeah, if I knew grandkids were so fun, I think we would have had them first.
Oh yeah, definitely skipped. Skip the kids.
But they do. So our newest addition to our shop is my daughter Stormy. She is really just taken to it. She's a fish in water. She's having a great time. She's absorbing everything. She loves it. They do when they grow up. It's nice. When they pull their heads out and they go, "Hey, there's a world out here." It really makes you proud, and you just kind of go, And that's what we're about in our shop. Is all about family.
Yeah, same with us. I've known Irvin since he was 20.
Yep.
And he's not 20 anymore.
You had hair that back then, probably too. Huh?
Yeah.
Right on.
All right. So back to talking to technicians and stuff, and this email that we got from I think that was Zach. So go out and interview, because as independent shops, we're always recruiting, and that's what we're doing. We are recruiting, not necessarily hiring at that moment that you walk in, but we're recruiting. So that's something that both you and the employer should check in with each other every once in a while. I know whenever I interview somebody that's good, but I don't have a position for them just yet, I put them on my little texting blast. So the next holiday that comes up, I send them a text, "Hey, how you doing?" and stuff like that, just to remind them I'm still out there. And kind of do a little twisting of the knife as to where they're currently at. And if they're not happy, then maybe they'll reach out and we'll go do breakfast or lunch just to keep in contact until there is the room and the availability. Because I don't want to bring somebody on and then everybody slows down. All the other technicians slow down and we're all starving for work. Then everybody gets frustrated.
Right.
So I want to know that I've got that technician booked up and solid for coming on board, that he's going to be busy and keep cranking and doing his thing. So
yeah, you got to have somebody that's going to answer the phone when you call the bullpen, bring in the right-hander. You got to have somebody there.
Yeah, so Peter, don't get disgruntled if people aren't hiring you on the spot because you're such a wonderful technician. Another thing that I guess I'll do a little tooting, a little bit of bragging. I'm on the board of a company out there for an app called Flat Rate Pro. So take a look at it, Google Flat Rate Pro, and what it is, it's basically the Carfax for technicians. You know how Carfax reports the oil changes, the services that are done on your car, that just comes automatically from a quality repair shop or dealership. Whenever you go in for service, that actually gets reported to Carfax, and so somebody buying the vehicle can take a look and see if it's been in a crash, how well it's been serviced, where it was serviced at, and stuff like that. This is similar for technicians. Technicians get to log in what they actually work on, what the actual book time is, and what the actual time it took them to do the work. So this is building a record for them so that the employer, us, we can have a look at their tech facts and see how truthful they actually are when it comes to, "Oh, I'm a super tech, I can do this and that. If you got the work, I can do it." There are so many technicians out there that we hear that from, and then you put them on the floor and they don't know, or they break stuff.
Oh Lord!
Or they hide stuff, they hack it, and
there
then it
is
comes
nothing
back.
that right there.
That is frustrating.
That is instant. That is no bueno.
Yeah.
I tell all my guys that we have the freedom to make mistakes. We're human. We're going to mess up. Do not ever conceal it from me. Don't ever lie to me about it. Don't hide it. We fix it. We take care of it. We stand up for what we do. If somebody hides something or lies to me, that's really bad. They're probably going to get fired that day.
Yeah, and that's part of being an ethical employee and an ethical technician. You can't just go in all, mightier than thou type attitude and think that you know everything, because it will come out. We'll see how you work after a week, after 3 weeks, after a month, and we'll see what kind of work you're actually doing.
For me, it's
similar
60.
to previous discussions we talked about. There's two sides of the coin. We take care of our people, because for most of our customers, they're not dealing with us on a transactional day-to-day basis. They're dealing with the service advisor or the technicians or the QA, QC people, whatever. And same with the employees and how we treat them. We got to treat them right. And then the ethical thing, if you're going to be an ethical business, we got to be supported by ethical employees.
Right.
It all tied in together.
Yep. Don't forget the number, folks, 928-541-1016. But what was your favorite part as a technician, John, way back in the day?
Calling in sick. I still got paid and didn't have to worry about anything. But no, I like the daily challenge of being a technician. That's the fun thing. And that's why I just couldn't picture myself working at a dealership, working on the same make, model, thing, doing dash work all day long on the same thing. Sure, you can get good, being repetitive, you're going to get good, you're going to have it all dialed in. But I like the variety of stuff. I like, when I was down in Sun City, that was the shop that I worked at down there was the widest variety of stuff. We would get the Sunbeam cars that we have to try to get through emissions. We'd get motorhomes in there that were doing rear ends and engine swaps and stuff. It was just an awesome shop that was down there. It's no longer in business. But
you ran them out of business?
No, we fixed all the old people cars down there in Sun City. Now they all bought new ones, and so they're all under warranty and such. But that was just fun. That's where I really expanded my knowledge and learned what I don't like and what I do like type stuff. And
nice.
As a technician, I guess I was never super heavy into diagnostics, so I liked the grunt work. I liked the front end stuff when I could swing a hammer and beat out ball joints and press in bushings and stuff like that. That was my fun time of actually doing something neat. But I was jealous of a coworker. I worked with a guy. I was in my, I guess, late 20s, early 30s, and I worked with a guy that was about probably pushing 50, might have just been into 50, but he was making some serious money. And I'm looking at him, and his hands were always clean. He was a smaller guy, kind of lightweight, not a big burly dude, but he used his mind. He was into drivability stuff. He had one of those old-fashioned oscilloscopes in his locker, and then he knew how to run the old Sunscope too. So he had all this wires hooked up and dangling on cars and stuff, and he just had good, clean work. He would diagnose it, and then it got handed off to somebody else to do the greasy fixing repair stuff.
God, I loved that Sun machine way back in the day. I could make cars dance with that machine.
That was a neat looking thing too, the big old arm.
Wait till you learned how to use it, buddy. I'm telling you, I could sit there and go, hey, this is a pickup coil problem. This is a spark plug problem. All from reading those little waves. I knew everything about that car. I could tell you if it was running lean, if it was running rich, if the timing was advanced. You could tell all of that just from looking at some waves on a screen. It was insane. And I was fortunate when I first started out. I worked at the Tune-Up Masters, my first job, and anyway, they had a regional trainer, which was really cool. But that guy was smart. And going full circle, I will tell you that he called me. His name was Tim. He called me probably about 6 years ago. They were getting their butt kicked by a transmission, and he was like, "Hey, do you remember me? I was a regional trainer." I was like, "Yeah, I know you, Tim. How you doing?" So we got to catch up, and he's like, "I got a transmission question." I was like, "Oh, the student gets to teach the teacher." But he was smart, and he trained me on how to use that. And man, the knowledge he gave me, and he just lit that fire. I could not learn enough. I still love learning. I mean, I've been to 3 conferences in 4 months. I still love learning. But that was for me anyway.
Yeah, that was neat
I
stuff.
digressed. I apologize.
And I mean, that was that
And
big
Tim was the
machine that we
rockstar.
talk about, that big Sunscope that rolled around with big old arm and stuff. Now technology has got it down into the palm of our hands.
Yep.
Now we actually have about 14 different scanners and scopes in the shop.
I'll tell you, I was
Tons of them.
I was looking while I was there. Speaking of stuff, and if you guys ain't gonna call, you're just gonna listen to us ramble. So 928-541-1016. While I was there, I went to the Autel booth, and their new Ultra whatever 2 version. That is pretty slick. and it was pretty reasonable, like $6,400 for a scanner. And I was like, "Hey, we need to talk." And he's like, "Oh, we don't sell directly. Why are you here?"
What got you interested?
I was ready to buy 3 of them. I'm
How
like,
do you get them?
yeah, that's what he was like. Well, the
You buy
tool
'em
guys,
through the tool guys in the stores. Yeah.
the stores, and the internet, and I'm telling
Okay,
you,
here it is again.
break time again.
Gotta do a break again. I mean, maybe somebody can bring us in some donuts or something like that during
There
this
you
break.
go.
So
It
we
was
can
good
wolf something
last
down,
week.
so-
We didn't have any trouble last week.
Give us a call, 928-541-1016. Give us a call, or you're going to listen to us for another 20 minutes or so. All right, and we're back again. So we didn't get donuts on the break, but we got Chips Ahoy king size package here of cookies. So yes, we can do cookies too. You guys can send
And
them
ladies,
in.
this is how it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have to bring our own. We have people for that.
Didn't cost us anything. So give us a call, fellow technicians, past technicians, 928-541-1016. We're just talking about our shop culture, and now let's talk about some of the benefits that we offer as an independent shop. Mark,
Well-
what kind of benefits do you offer your guys? Is there, you make them work 8 days, 12 hours a day, or what can they
Only
expect?
12?
Well,
What can they expect working for you?
conventional benefits. We offer healthcare benefits after you're there a while. We uniforms, business cards, tchotchkes like hats, whatever.
A 40-hour work week, 7 days a week?
Yeah,
What do you got?
40-hour work week, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
So you give them weekends off? Is that for so they can spend time with their family?
No, well, not for that reason.
Oh, okay.
No, but it's 8 to 5. It's all about family, as compared to some of our competitors, maybe even recent ones that are now operated by chain stores.
Yeah.
So if you got a problem with us, you don't have to wait to have somebody call corporate to find out what the answer is. I guess I'm corporate.
There you go. They just go into your office door and find out what's going on.
Figure it out. Doesn't mean everything's smooth sailing all the time and rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah.
But if you got an issue, then we can look each other in the eye and resolve it.
And get it handled in a timely
Exactly.
manner rather than
There
waiting
you go.
and waiting or doing paperwork and stuff. All right, somebody's tired of listening to us, so
Awesome.
I see Warren here is calling in. He's got a question or two about some coolant. So, Warren, change our subject and let's see what you got.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I I do a lot of the work on my cars myself, and
Nice.
I don't want to dump the coolant into the ground because,
Nope.
well, I have a well, and I don't want any of that stuff going into what I'm going to be drinking next week.
Well,
And
dump
that's
it down.
illegal, by
Dump
the
it
way.
downhill.
Okay, so what do you
What-
do with used
what-
coolant?
What do you guys suggest? Is there? I don't know if the county disposal, whatever you call it, they would take it or what?
If you're in Prescott Valley, they are now advertising Hazmat Cleanup Day in November, where they'll come by and pick up your coolant, your old paint, and batteries and stuff. So if you're in Prescott Valley, that's a possibility.
Really?
I'm in Chino.
Okay. So yeah, go into the Big Chino Wash. No, check
He's
with
kidding,
yeah,
folks.
check-
Please do not ever do that.
check with
according to
check with
laws.
some of your repair shops that you visit, to get your oil change or something like that you have a repair done at. And if you're just trying to get rid of 3 or 4 gallons, you may talk to them and they may take it. And we've got our own recycling center that we put it in our cans, and then they come through and drain our drums and haul it off and do their thing.
Do the parts houses do that anymore? I know they collect oil.
They used to do oil. I don't know if they're doing coolant, but that's another one to check in with. I know for our particular shop, we've got plenty of 50-gallon drums that we just go ahead and load up with all that old contaminated stuff. And then our waste oil guy comes up and he pumps out our oil and our coolant. So
Nice.
that's how we can get rid of our stuff. But, yeah, if you're not dealing with a large quantity, check with a couple of repair shops out there in Chino and see if they'll take it off your hands. That way they can get it recycled. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we
All right.
all recycle coolant, oil, whatever, at our particular shops. So the difference is from the environmental services background that I have. It's a little bit hard to take a gallon or two from somebody else that you don't know where it is, where it came from, because if there's a contaminant in there, we get to own it as opposed to whoever delivered it.
Yes, and most places will go ahead and dump your stuff in here. I would definitely check out all your local parts stores. A lot of them have recycling. We recycle all of our fluids just to be more, save the earth, help it out. It's a nasty business that we're in, and there's only so much oil in the ground. Anyway, I hope that helped you. I apologize.
Oh, that's fine. And, along the same line, what you might remind the listeners that coolant is something that needs to be checked and changed periodically, every few years or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is no lifetime coolant. It still gets acidic, and it can start, and it loses its lubricosity. That was a Zoom thing that I learned a couple of weeks ago. That's what keeps your water pump lubricated. That's what keeps everything flowing and going. And I remember back in the late 90s, the S10s used to have heater core issues. That's whenever they were switching over to that Dexcool.
Right.
And they were very acidic. And with the difference of the metals, the aluminums, the steels, the coppers that were in the cooling system, that creates an acid in that coolant. So there is no lifetime coolant. Even though manufacturers want to say it's lifetime, they're just saying that for the cost of ownership, they're trying to keep that vehicle's cost cheap. They're not trying to get that car to go 200,000 miles. So it's a good thing, just like what you're doing. Change it every 2 or 3 years. It doesn't hurt. And you'll also notice, too, if customers want to check stuff out, get your fingers wet from the coolant in the overflow bottle when the vehicle's cool, of course, and see how slick that feels on your fingers. And then whenever you do have a service or you see somebody that has a gallon of new coolant, do the same test between your fingers. Dip your fingers in there and see how much slicker that is.
Yep.
That helps keep things lubricated, and today's cars need lubrication. They are such close tolerances on anything.
Well, now they're running 0W8
Yep.
oil.
That's Toyota.
Yep.
Yeah.
But hey, Warren, keep it up. Keep doing your own stuff. This is how I got started way back in the day. I was working on my own cars and I loved it, and so awesome. Congratulations to you.
All right, thanks for the help.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
Another break?
I guess we
Man.
we got to have a lot of sponsors to pay us. 'Cause,
I gotta tell you.
that's our thing. We keep giving ourselves raises, so we got to get sponsors to help pay for the show. So here we are, break number 4. So we got to go on another break. We will be back in another 2 and 2. Listen to the advertisers. Thanks. All right, and we are back again.
We're back.
Man, that's kind of cool. We got people sponsoring our show.
It is.
Particularly that last advertiser. He was really excited.
Oh, yeah. He's got a gas whisperer over there. I don't know if that's because they eat a lot of beans over there or what. So we were talking about what independent shops have to offer, and Mark told us what he's got going on for his employees and stuff. So, Desmond, what do you have going on over the transmission shop? What's your enticing thing for being an independent shop?
Awesome. So some of the things we do, we pay, well, let's start off with the basics, 40-hour work week. I have all my team there from 8 to 5 with an hour lunch, and I tell them take your lunch. Anyway, so normal work week, no weekends. We do, I cover their health care. Most of them, I haven't set it up yet. I need your insurance people's number again. But we cover their health care, so we give everybody a few $100s towards their, whatever their health care bill is. I just started talking to Danny. I'm setting up 401ks for everybody because we got a good team.
Cool.
Stuff like that, training, whatever. I'm kind of a weirdo on training. I tell all my team, if you're not participating in continuing training, you're probably not going to work long for me. But whatever they find that they want to go to, I'm happy to pay for it. And I actually am signing up with Motor on Monday for all the ASE different study tests. So all of my people can go get all of the ASEs that they want to get, and there's classes on that. And anyway, that kind of stuff. Definitely family time. I start everybody off with 1 week paid vacation. After they've been with me for 3 years, and I give them 2 weeks and up to 5 weeks vacation.
Yeah, we do similar stuff, and I think at a more basic level. I mean, I know their wife's name, their kid's name, their dog's name. I know how the kids are doing at school, whatever, because
and I'm going to tell you,
I'm interested.
I'm going to tell you this. So I had a long-term employee recently, and his attitude has really been crud for a couple of weeks. And so I went up to him and I was like, Fred, you're really cranky. You're going on vacation starting Monday. You're not allowed at the shop. Paid vacation. Go. Get refreshed. Come back feeling good. And what do you do? What does a normal employer do? Do they write them up? Do they fire them? No. I could tell the guy was tired. And I couldn't remember the last time he took any significant time off. It's like, get out. Come back next week with a better attitude. And guess what? He came back with a rock star attitude, his normal rock star attitude. So
good.
That kind of stuff.
That was
care.
A coincidence.
Yeah. Amazing coincidence. But the shops that care do that kind of stuff. I'm not looking to punish people. I'm not looking to ride them. And I want to know, truly, genuinely, how can we help?
Yeah, and if you do that, you take care of them, you care about them, they care about their customers, and it comes back.
Now, I'm not as good as Mark with remembering names. I just remember the cars and stuff. So I am terrible at my technicians and stuff like that on their spouses' names and kids and stuff. But I do know that they have a family, they're married, or they have kids and stuff like that. I like to check in with them and see how things are going. But yeah, you're right. That's what we need to do. And independent shops, I think we actually, a couple of years ago, I was talking to somebody that came from a Blue Oval place, and I was shocked that I offered more benefits than what the dealership did. The dealers have dropped their health insurance. They've dropped
Blue Oval place.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
I'll tell you what shocked me this week. So one of the classes, the People First classes, the lady was talking about, I know all of my guys, when they started, what their birthdays are, what their favorite candy bar are, what they drink, yada, yada, yada.
Well, that's a girl. They have awesome memories. They don't forget.
Well,
a lot of them drink Jack Daniels.
when the technicians are having a rough time, are having a bad day or bad week or whatever, she'll go get them their favorite drink and their little candy bar. And I was like, that's a good idea. And so I'm in class and I'm texting Shannon. I was like, I want to find out all this information for me. And Shannon was like, well, who do you want to know? I already know all this. And I'm like, well, I'm glad you do.
She's
I
been
know.
carrying you forever.
See?
I'm telling you.
I told you, women have that iron memory. They know what's going on. They don't forget the grudges. I mean, you've been married long enough. You know.
29 years.
That's
buddy,
right. And she could tell you when you screwed up in year one.
Yep. Remember
In
back
full
in
detail.
1996 on June 2nd, you said this.
Yep. So people out there that are looking for jobs and stuff like that, the field has changed from independence. We definitely care more about our employees and their families. But you are part of our family too. I mean, honestly, you spend a third of your life at your job site, and so you have to be respectful and build a good relationship with that team and stuff. But
Okay.
then we also respect your time too.
Yeah, so I know I've been wanting to interrupt, so I apologize. Now let's talk about the employee side. This email, would you have hired this person when he came in with that kind of attitude? What can an employee do to impress us during that interview process?
I'd like to talk to him, and I want to get to know what he does for fun, if he does any biking, hiking, fishing, something like that. I want to see what his personal lifestyle
Yeah,
is.
get the human side.
Yeah.
Yes.
If he turns out to be a bump on a log at home and he's just grumpy and complains about all his neighbor and politics, most likely he's not going to make it on my texting list to see how he's doing on our
And
holidays.
you
or
don't
something
want to
like that.
skip being on John's texting list.
And well, I'm saying this for a reason, so people out there listening, and you're out there looking for a job, have a positive attitude. Don't come off like, don't be cranky. Don't just sit there and badmouth the shop you were at. Because I tell you, when I interview people and they're just going on and on and on and on and on about the shop that they were just at, I'm like, great. What's going to happen when they leave my place?
Yeah.
I remember my dad, a few things I learned from my dad. One of them was if you start dating a woman and she keeps telling you about how her ex is no good SOB, fast forward, she's talking about you the same way.
Yep. So have a positive attitude. Have a resume. Explain to us what you've done. What else can you explain? Those long gaps in history, and don't be afraid to say, "Hey, I tried to step out on my own and it didn't work out." Because I respect that personally.
And
Business ain't easy.
just like it's a two-way thing. Listen to what the employer wants, and as employers, we need to listen. That's the hardest skill, and it's one of the skills that doesn't seem to be as prevalent as it used to be.
That's how I try to conduct my interviews. Is I try to do the least amount of talking.
Yep.
Exactly.
I'll throw the questions out and try to get them to do their talk and stuff, and let us know what they're all about and such.
Yes.
So we're getting down to the final portion of it. We've got
Okay.
less than a minute. Tom's down at the ranch. He will be up next week. And we can advertise his phone number. Just check out the bathroom wall. We've got it in there, 480-731-3131. He's the Uber driver, so he'll be up next week. Maybe Louie will be back in town.
Maybe.
Yep, maybe. But from all of us here, we appreciate you guys listening, and Warren for calling in, talking about coolant. Don't contaminate the ground. Find somebody that can recycle it for you.
Yes.
And
Thank you for the email. We appreciated it. And it definitely gave us something to talk about.
Yeah. So
Okay.
thank you very much, and
10 seconds, buddy.
yep.
Wrap it up.
have a great week. It's a great week to have, and we will see you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
for listening.
Bye-bye.
And women.